Thank you for joining us.
Namaste.
So, today we'll do a little bit of focusing on the neck and the shoulder and just how that attaches. So, it'll probably be somewhat related to the spine, kind of the rotation that we get and that connection. So, we did the other day, we were working a little bit on, opening the chest. So we were trying to create space here. So we'll work on a few things and see how that goes today. See what we can come up with. So let's begin. So come to line on your mat. I'm gonna lie. I've been going one way and I'm gonna try and vary my way. So have your knees bent and the feet on the floor. So when you press your feet, you can feel like that connection to the sit bones. And then just press the feet and get a little bit of movement in the spine and just feel a little bit of rocking through the spine. And try not to effort this too much. I'm turning my head. I don't really want you to be turning your head yet, but I just want you to get that movement so you can feel that little bit of, you move the tail this way and the head stretches and then you move it this way. And so there's just a little bit of movement going on at what I call the sit bones of the head. But here we're not putting any pressure on the neck. We're just seeing if we can get a little bit of spinal fluid moving to just have that gentle rock. So the chin will, go down and up a little bit. There may not be a lot of movement. And you can also slow it down and see what happens when you press those feet. And then it's like rocking the pelvis too. So of course you can initiate the movement a little bit in the pelvis. So you can roll the belly up and then roll the sacrum the other way and see how that's different than just using the feet and then letting that go and then just trying to get that rock where the feet heels connect to the sit bone, and then there's a triangle where your shoulders are up into your head there. So see if you can feel a little space there. And then just slow that down and come a little bit to stillness. And then see if you can drop. I'm dropping my left ear, but you can drop the right ear. See if you can just drop that ear towards the floor. You may not get very far, but we're just trying to feel into gravity here. We're not trying to, do too much stretching. It's just about like letting the head rotate and the ear go to the floor. And then come back to the center. And you might not have a lot of mobility, it's all right. And then bring the ear to the other side. Or you might have very different mobility on each side. And then bring that back together. And then drop it back to the other side. And back through the center. And then drop it to the other side. And bring the head up and extend the legs long. Just come into like an X position. And we're going to just notice how when we bring one knee and elbow towards each other, not a lot of efforting, we shorten in that side body so you can feel, a little bit of abdominal things there, but it also rolls the head over. extend it back out, and it lengthens the other side. So then bring the elbow and knee towards each other and letting the head just roll. And then inhale, coming up. And then we'll do it again on each side. Coming up. And the other side. Coming up, straightening. And then bring the knees up again. And place the interlock the fingers under the head, and maybe you can actually feel how your palms grasp the base of the head here, and you can actually, give yourself a little bit of a press if that feels good. Just stay within your own range of comfort here. And then we'll inhale, bend the knees and straighten them. So we'll do a little bit of abdominal here while you support that head. Because one of the things that seems to happen is people do a lot of abdominal crunches, and they often bring the head up, but they often have challenges in the neck area. So sometimes abdominal crunches are a little bit too much for people. So that's why I like doing this pose, to really wake up the abdominals. And still holding the head, we'll do a little variation. So when you bring the knees in, extend one leg long, one knee is bent, and then bring the knees together, the other leg long, bring it together. And if you're struggling, you can always just modify how you extend the leg. And then inhale, straighten them up, inhale, bring them down. So we'll continue adding that variation. So you bring the knees in, straighten one leg for the floor, have the other knee bent. Inhale, straighten the other knee, then bring the knees in, straighten up, and then bring down. So we'll do that variation 2 more times. Inhale, extend one leg, keeping the other one bent. Inhale, bring you in, exhale, extend the other leg long. Inhale, extend the legs up together. Exhale, bring the knees in, feet on the floor. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, bend the knees in, straighten through the legs. Oops, sorry. Extend one leg, keep the other leg bent. Inhale, extend the other leg. Inhale on both, and then one last straighten up, which of course can be lower if that's what works on your, and then bring the knees in. And then just to come up to sitting, just start to roll over, and don't try to keep the head on the floor as you bring it over. And then you got the knees bent, and then you just want to keep you letting the weight of the head come down. And then we'll just sit for a minute. And if you're uncomfortable sitting, you can sit on a block or a blanket. I'm just doing easy cross legs. And then just drop the head, the chin to the chest. See what your range is. Inhale up. Then look over the right shoulder. You may not get very far, but
But you want to keep that chin level. You don't want to bring the chin down yet. We'll do that in a second. Coming back to the center. Exhale to the other side. Come back to the center. Then just drop the ear to the shoulder. Just see what that stretch is like for you. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, drop the left ear towards the shoulder. Inhale up. And then just because we're sitting here, interlock the fingers and press forward. Inhale the arms up. Release the arms to your side. Then interlock them behind you. Stretch the fronts of the shoulders. And then inhale, coming forward and bringing the hands together. And then the opposite one, inhale, so the elbows are up. Exhale, palms go forward. You're trying to have them shoulder level, but if you need them a little bit lower, that's okay. And then when you inhale them up, if you need them a little bit forward, that's okay. You don't need to, just try to distort and bring it all the way up. And you'll just notice how's your neck in this. And then bring the hands behind you. Bring that, interlock the fingers together. And then release and come back into prayer. And we'll do it 2 more times so that you can have the opposite interlock. So inhale, elbows up. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, behind. Inhale, stretch through the shoulders. Bring it forward, back into prayer. And 1 more time. Opposite grip, inhale. Exhale, forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, behind. Inhale. And exhale. Bring them together. Inhale. And exhale. And then come over to all fours. And just see what happens when you just drop the chin, letting the head go here, not worrying about your tail yet. And then see if you can bring it to neutral. And then just see if you can really feel that relationship with the head and tail when we go into the cat and dog tilts. So when you're rounding the spine, see if you can create that length in the neck, bringing the chest and chin towards each other. And then inhale, going the other way. Exhale, rounding the spine. See if you can, hold it for a few breaths in this direction, perhaps, to really lengthen the head and neck, letting the weight of the head come down. Inhale, coming up, and exhale. Inhale, and exhale. Inhale, and then come back to neutral and bring your elbows together and slowly try to bring your hips towards your feet, or you can tuck the toes under and press the hips into the heels, but at the same time get a bit of
a shoulder stretch. And you're supporting the head in your forearms. And then inhale, coming back to all fours, and we'll just do a couple more cat dog tilts. Rounding the spine, dropping that chin and chest towards each other. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then come to neutral and perhaps walk your hands a little bit forward. We're going to come into downward facing, so tucking the toes under, really spreading your hands and fingers wide, and then really press into those hands as you press into the shoulder blades, and come into downward facing dog. And try to keep your ears parallel with your arms here. And then bring the knees down and go into big toes together, knees wide. And if you like that last stretch, you can tuck the toes under, bring the elbows together, forehead on the forearms. And then come up again. Walk the hands a little forward, tucking the toes under, and come into another downward facing dog. And then walk the feet towards the hands. And then see if you can stay with the legs bent and just do a bit of moving the head and the neck, so you can shake yes, you can shake no. And just notice if you can feel that gravity. And then slowly keep that chin towards the chest as you roll up the spine, so that really that head is the last thing to come up. And we can stand in the middle of the mat in Tadasana. And since we're standing here, see if you can drop the right ear or the left ear to the same shoulder. And inhale, come up, drop the other ear, the other shoulder. Inhale, come up. And then inhale the arms up and get a hold of your opposite wrist. And then just do a little side stretch and see if you can just relax the head and neck in this pose. So you don't want to drop it back, you don't want to drop it forward, you want to try to find, again, the ear towards the forearm. And then inhale, slowly come up. Hold on to the opposite wrist. Get a nice side stretch as you drop the ear towards that arm. And then come back into Tadasana. And then just
elevate the shoulders towards the ears and just feel what that feels like. And then see if you can soften them and drop them. And you can elevate them again and release. Elevate again and release. And then if you have found it useful, you can do a little bit of circling with the shoulders. I'm actually going behind me right now. And then you can reverse that and bring them the other way. And then what if you add your arms to that? So as you lift the shoulders, you bring the arms behind. Kind of like you got a wheel going on here. And then come the other way. Come from the back. And of course, you may not be quite a wheel. It may need to go further wide. But you're trying your best to just get a bit of rotation there. And then just give them a little shake. And then see if you can come into Tadasana. Just notice that. And we'll do a couple of standing poses, but we'll come from the hands on the hips. So we'll bring the feet out into wide leg, and then I'll do mirror image so you can have softness in the knees when you take the left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. And this time, just keep the hands on the hips as we come into a triangle variation, Trikonasana. See if you can maintain that length through the head and the tail without really, using the arms here. You've really got the power in the legs. You've got to really use your abdominals here. We're going to relax the shoulders here. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel. And then again, softening at the knees, taking that right foot toe to heel, left foot heel to toe. And then really engaging those legs. You really want to engage those quadriceps, and then slowly come to the side while you're got your hands on the hips. Really using your abdominals here. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel, and then just bring them back into Tadasana, and then just let the arms come down. Just had this idea of, if you bring the hands on the hips in Tadasana, you can try to bring the elbows towards each other, get a little stretch in the front, and then release that. Bring the arms down. A couple of breaths into Tadasana. And then bring the hands on the hips. And feet wide first. And then take that left foot toe to heel, right foot heel to toe. And this time we're just going to bend the front leg, really straighten the back leg, and go into Warrior One with the hands on the hips. And then you can really try to sort of bring the elbows towards each other. You may not get very far. To see if you can get that stretch across the front of the chest, but also perhaps more length in the neck. And then inhale, slowly come up. Bring the feet parallel. And again, soften at the knees so that you can take the right foot toe to heel, left foot heel
heel to toe, or heel to ball of the foot maybe, and bend deep into warrior two, and then see if you can start to bring those elbows a little bit behind you, get a little bit of stretch through the shoulders. And then inhale, slowly come up, bring the feet parallel, and then bring them back into Tadasana. And again, just see if you can allow the arms to just using gravity, that length of the fingers that really give you that length in the arms. And then we will bring those feet wide again. Not as wide, because we're going to pivot all the way to one side into warrior one variation. And then just bend deeply and find that stability in the legs. And then we're going to bring the arms in Gurudasana. So you probably have the right leg forward, so bring the left arm underneath, or if you've got the left leg forward, the right arm comes underneath. And here's where you can lift the elbows up if that works for you, or you can just stay here with the arms in front of you. And then release, hands back on the hips, coming through the center. And then we'll pivot all the way around to the other side, and then bend deeply into that front leg and really press through the back heel. And then it's the opposite elbow comes underneath, the leg is forward. Again, you can stay here with the arms, or you can just start to go into a little back bend here, lifting those elbows up. Exhale, release, bring the feet wide, and then inch them in closer, coming back into the blah, 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 Tadasana. And just notice how you're doing here. And then we'll do just a little, you don't have to go fully into Gurudasana, eagle pose, and sometimes it's helpful to have a block to put your foot on, but you can come into, powerful pose, and then you bring one leg up and over. Now you can just stay here if you can hold the balance. And if you want to bring the arms, it's the same elbow goes underneath that you've got the leg wrapping, but you can just keep this leg here. And then slowly release that side, come back through Tadasana. Couple of breaths here. Hands on hips, go through Utkatasana, bring the opposite leg up, and you can stay here and just find your balance. And then the same elbow goes underneath as the leg is on top. And inhale, slowly come up, back into Tadasana. And then we'll come back down to the mat. And we often do this stretch early in the class, but perhaps it'll bring you something different later in the class. So come onto all fours, and then in my case I have my right arm. Thread that right arm down towards the shin, and then you can press the hand here. See if you can get more stretch in that shoulder blade. Maybe you get a neck stretch here. And then inhale, slowly come up, and then take your other hand towards the other shin. I can just move around. And it might be different on either side, so you might have to adjust how your head is, and then you want to press that hand in to press into that shoulder. Then going back to the first side, we'll do thread the needle. So you slide the hand in, head on the floor, and you take the top arm and you straighten that to get a bit of stretch in the shoulders. You might get a little bit of neck stretch as well. Just depends on your body. Then I'll turn it around the other way. So you can take the other arm through and place the hand on top and really press and try to straighten those arms to get a bit of stretch in the shoulder, the bottom shoulder blade. And then inhale, come up, and I'm aware that we sat with one leg for easy cross legs. Sit with the other leg and easy cross legs. That is if you're okay in easy cross legs. You can always sit on some cushion or block or something if you need to be elevated. So we're just going to try to gradually do a twist here, and starting at the base of the spine, and then we'll try to, you can just see where your head and neck goes in this pose. So you're going to take the opposite hand to the opposite, down towards the knee, so it's the lower part of the thigh, and then really engage the abdominals as you slowly start to twist. So you might still be just looking at that diagonal to start with, and then really keep engaging the torso as you go. Then you might look at the side space, and then if you feel you can do it, you can keep bringing that chin towards the opposite shoulder. Slowly come back around so you can face the side and then face that diagonal, and then come back to the center. And just notice how you are. And then take the opposite hand to the opposite lower part of the thigh, and then the other hand is behind. And you're just going to slowly, like I said, start engaging at the abdominals so that the twist starts at the base of the spine. So you first look at that diagonal. And then if you go a little deeper, you can just look towards the side. And, you know, if you're having any particular challenge is you can just stay here looking towards the side. You're feeling you've got the range, you can continue to twist to look over that shoulder. And then slowly rewind so you look to the side first. Then you come and look on the diagonal. Come look front. So our eyes often help us with balance and with our vestibular system, with orienting us between the inner ears. So sometimes we need to move very slow in that, just to let the body catch up, just to let, some people can get quite dizzy. So, and then come down to laying on your back, and we're just gonna do a little happy baby pose, just to roll around the spine a little bit, and again, just letting gravity move the head and the neck. And then if you'd like to do feet up the wall, feet on a chair, or just simple Shavasana, you can go to Shavasana. And if you're in Shavasana, or even if you're in one of those other poses, feet up the wall, you can let gravity pull your ear towards the floor on one side, and gravity pull your ear to the floor on the other side, and then come back to neutral and see if you can allow that to just settle into your body. And then with each exhale, see if you can soften with each exhale into gravity, into the floor. Allowing that whole back body to really spread. Soft. See if you can feel your thigh socket softening where your legs meet your pelvis, just softening each exhale. See if you can soften your sacrum and widen your sacrum each exhale. And then see if you can really spread your rib cage. Soften your rib cage. Each exhale. And see with every inhale you can widen your shoulder blades, and with every exhale they soften even more. So your shoulder blades
Widen with the inhale and then soften with the exhale. Widen with the inhale, soften with the exhale. Feel your collarbones and see if you can lengthen with the inhale and soften with the exhale. Lengthen with the inhale, soften with the exhale. See if you can soften your collarbone notches, your throat soften, back of the head softens and lengthens. Your forehead softens and widens. Temples are soft. Space between the eyebrows widens and softens. Eyeballs rest into your eye socket. Your cheeks are softening. Your jaw softens. Tongue rests in your oral palate. Appreciate yourself for doing this yoga, for giving yourself the space to move your body and learn more about the wisdom in your own body. Slowly reawaken the body, moving the fingers, the hands, the toes, and the feet. You can slowly roll to your right side.
Namaste.
And come up to sitting. And I hope you can continue to appreciate yourself throughout your day or whatever time you have after this class. So thank you for being here and namaste.
Namaste.